Blackbeard's Ghost, an old tiki cocktail resurrected from a pirate-themed tiki restaurant that went defunct sometime in the mid-1980s. Is it any good? Let's find out on today's episode of Bob's Bottom Shelf. So, the original cocktail was called the Pirate's Grog. It was offered at the Blackbeard's Galley restaurant in Newport Beach, and it was shut down sometime in the mid-1980s, like so many other good tiki restaurants at the time. The Blackbeard's Ghost? It's a remixed version of that original Pirate's Grog cocktail. It was recovered by Jeff Beachbum Berry, who's known for recovering a lot of lost tiki recipes. Something interesting about this cocktail is that it calls for apricot liqueur, something not commonly used in tiki cocktails, but something you would find a lot in some old school cocktails. So you might be thinking, peach, apricot, who cares, what's the difference? I'm just gonna use some peach schnapps or some peach brandy like I thought. However, the apricot liqueur that this specific recipe calls for, it's actually made from the apricot pits, and it has more of a nutty flavor, not so much a fruity flavor. So you can use that if you can find it, otherwise you'll be just fine to use some of these peach schnapps or some of this peach brandy, and I'm going to use the peach brandy today. And to make up for that lack of apparent nuttiness from the apricot pit liqueur, I'm just going to put in a few drops of almond extract. So this recipe, it also calls for Falernum. What is Falernum? The short version is it's a sweet ingredient used to add a spiced flavor to tiki cocktails. And it's available in two varieties. You could get a syrup or this 11% ABV Velvet Falernum Liqueur. And both versions, whether you get the syrup or the flavored liqueur, they have notes of lime, ginger, clove, and almond. You should have no trouble finding some Falernum syrup online, or you could also try making that yourself. I heard it's not too hard. I haven't done it myself. Or you could just try to find this at the store. John D. Taylor's Velvet Falernum Liqueur. I picked this up a long time ago. I don't quite remember how much it was, but I'm pretty sure it was under $20. I'm thinking possibly $11 or $12. And the liqueur here is made with a Barbados rum. We're also going to use a light white rum. You could use Bacardi, Cruzan, Don Q. I'm going to use some Angostura Caribbean light rum. And the recipe also calls for some Demerara rum. I'm going to use some Hamilton 86. You could also use some El Dorado, Pusser's rum. You could even use some dark Jamaican rum. We're also going to use some fresh squeezed orange juice, some fresh squeezed lemon juice, some peach brandy as mentioned earlier, and some Angostura bitters. Alright folks, let's make our Blackbeard's Ghost cocktail. We're going to start with 1.5 ounces of fresh squeezed orange juice. Next, 1 ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Half an ounce of Falernum, either your syrup or liqueur. Half an ounce of peach brandy or peach schnapps, or even the apricot liqueur if you could find it. Then half an ounce of Demerara rum. 1.5 ounces of light rum. Finally, 2 dashes of bitters, and 3 drops of almond extract if you couldn't find the proper apricot liqueur. Alright folks, let's pour out our Blackbeard's Ghost cocktail. I'm a little lacking with my pirate garnishes. I only have a bamboo straw and a little umbrella. So I heard if you do this right, it should resemble an orange creamsicle. Let's check it out. Perhaps a very spiced and boozy orange creamsicle. It does taste boozy. There's 3 ounces of 40% ABV alcohol in here. It does taste orangey. I can certainly taste all the herbs and spices from the Falernum. I think the Demerara rum's a good choice. You could probably also use the spiced rum or a navy rum like Pusser's, but I'm not really getting so much of an orange creamsicle. That probably comes from the original apricot liqueur that's apparently hard to find. But other than that, it's good. Citrusy, orangey, spicy, and boozy. But maybe the drink should be called the Ghost of Blackbeard's Galley, since it's recovered from that restaurant, not actually Blackbeard himself. Alright folks, that's gonna just about do it for today's episode of Bob's Bottom Shelf. Let me know if you've ever tried a Blackbeard's Ghost, or leave me another comment about whatever. And I'll see you in the next episode.